Thank you. Is this good now? Okay, great. Thank you very much. I think it's always challenging to be the last presenter after especially 20 presentations. And it's also very, very challenging to talk about a seemingly non-related issue. But please bear with me, I'm gonna talk about opportunities and networking, so it's worth being awake, still just a bit. Okay, first of all, why I'm here and why I'm talking about this Natura 2000 biogeographical process. Please, hands up if you have ever heard about this process. Yay. Brilliant. But I suspect 50% is still worth being awake. The rest can go to sleep now. No, I'm kidding. Okay, so why I'm here is I'm for SIBA for Biodiversity, which is an organization who is contractor of the European Commission, along with the ECNC, Eurosite, Europark, ELO, and ILESAS. And our task is to promote the Natura 2000 biogeographical process and to help events like this one to be followed up by certain seminars that identified invasive alien species as horizontal issues to tackle and talk about it among Natura 2000 managers. And the reason why WWF and the National Park of Dunajpoj is endorsed by the European Commission 2000 Biogeographical Seminar follow-up event is because Scotty from WWF and also other colleagues were in the kick-off seminar of the very difficult word of the Pannonian continental Black Sea and Steppic seminar in Luxembourg, and also a follow-up event in Arad, which was organized by the Danube Delta Institute, and colleagues were also present who are here. And then they offered this fantastic event to be as a follow-up event here, and the European Commission and the contractors were super happy that we can contribute and help to this event. Okay, now back to the topic, what this Natura 2000 biogeographical process is. This process is in the heart of the EU Biodiversity Strategy 2020 that we have heard about today. It's fulfilling or helping the first target, which is fully implementing the Birds and Habitats Directive. And the aim is to help achieving the favorable conservation status of species and habitats of community importance. And to do this, we are promoting networking of experts and experience exchange, just like you guys are doing this today. Okay, so the whole thing is that we know a lot about Natura 2000, but we have to know more about it. We have to have experts to exchange information, to share know-how, to sit together and think about future projects, and of course events too. Yeah, so the aim is to build up a know-how and to help promoting further this best practice management. And of course it's important as involvement is voluntary, so please don't mix it up with the original biogeographical process, which was on designation. This process is on management. And the aim is also that to put together stakeholders, not only member states, but also other experts, NGOs, scientific institutes, to be in one room and think jointly together about better management of the site. Okay, of course, we have to cooperate, and we do cooperate with LIFE projects and the LIFE platform and other processes that have been so far contributing to the Natura 2000 process. Okay, so what is this whole thing about? It's about 4 key steps. Identify where we are currently, what the state of art. We agree on priorities for progress, agree what we need to do, and then we talk about specifics, and we decide of the action. And this is what the process is about, mostly to help actions like workshops, experts meeting, excursions of experts to happen, and to boost towards better management of sites. Okay, what has been happening so far? The process so far, there were these so-called kick-off seminars, which is for our region and the Pannonian continental Steppic and Black Sea, happened in Luxembourg last summer. And there we identified priorities, which was precluded with the with the very extensive discussion among member states and experts, what should be the priorities. So that have been identified jointly, and through a very extensive document was born, which is called the seminar document, which is super long. But I hope it was useful for those who read it. Okay. What are the common priorities? These are just some examples, what have been identified. Invasive alien species were identified too in most of the seminars too, although it's not on my list, unfortunately. Okay, of course it's important too because it can enable experts to think about live projects or interact projects, because you guys now sit together, you meet each other, so it can be boosted further for further cooperation and could be shaped into project proposals and eventually projects. So these are just some ideas and cooperative actions which were identified. I'm not going to read it, but I think you already know what these have been. Okay, and of course we don't just finish when there's a kickoff seminar. It's important that there is a process of follow-up. So there is this so-called review seminars, where we check where we are, what have been happening so far, what could further boost it, what additional priorities can be added to talk about more in details. Okay, so there are some linked or follow-up events, and the first line is where we are now, and this is just a taste of what's going to happen in the upcoming month. But everything can be found in the Natura 2000 platform, which I will also talk about. There are different processes and events according to the biogeographic. So this is all running parallel. Okay. And the main message you have been waiting for is that the contractor, us and all the other organizations and the European Commission can support additional ideas to be shaped up as this event today. So there could be a continuous process of upcoming other networks that we are supporting. So I would like to invite you to think about additional ideas and to come up with more ideas that we can help developing further, and then we can discuss with the European Commission and suggest it to be funded and supported by this process. So what we can do is once your event was suggested to us, then we discuss it, we can put it into a so-called task sheet, which I already discussed with some of the colleagues, and then we decide on the format, how it can be. We can suggest also speakers or presenters, identify for the priorities, even facilitate and moderate the networking event, just like today. I was the one running around with the microphone. So, and provide some further financial support and other support, and of course share your information with our extended networks. So what this Natura 2000 platform is? Can I ask you to put your hands up if you have heard about it? Okay, again 50%. So it's worth talking about it because it's a great platform. There are lots of cases, there are lots of information. You can find project partners, you can find upcoming events, you can find lots of information about Natura 2000, best practice, experts, etc., etc. There's also a digital newsletter, an experts directory of experts. So it's also worth going and checking out who are the other people who are dealing with invasive alien species. And it has been always, it has been improving to get as many services as possible for you. So I would also invite you to give us some feedbacks on the platform on how we can improve it. Okay, so you can see lots of active participants. Well, it's improving. And it's just a great place to find project partners too and identify people from other member states. And also there is a forum where you can list your issues, and you can find, again, project partners or same topics that is worth discussing with other people who can be an expert on these specific topics. Okay, so what is this about the Biogeographical Seminar? Well, we know this is a continuing process. We know it's something to be improved, but it's very important this is for the experts, for the exchange, for the know-how to improve. And it's not just we are providing and the European Commission providing something for the experts, but you can tell us how we can identify more priorities, how to improve more, what additional topics that we should be discussing. And of course, it's jointly with you to develop such a great event as this is today. So thank you very much for all the information. There, you can find all this information there. Thanks. And I can run around the microphone if you have questions.
Thank you for reporting the biogeographic seminar process. I am sure that there are a lot of questions. Probably everybody is too tired. In the next day or in the